I've got a birthday coming up in just a couple of weeks, and getting older is kind of a mixed bag, right? Because on the one hand, you've been around enough and you have knowledge and life experience, but you've also reached a point where there's more time behind you than what's in front of you. The good news is your self-confidence should increase as you get older because you've, of course, been around the block enough times to know yourself and to know, I guess, how you're able to handle different situations that life throws your way. So one thing that I would like to tell my younger self is whatever that thing is right now that you think is a really big deal is probably not as big of a deal as you probably think it is right now. It's like those times when you were in high school, right? That everything that happens is completely life-changing. Now, I don't want to say that whatever that thing is, it's not a big deal at that point, but looking back on it now, it probably really wasn't that important after all. And something else is your awareness and view of life through the eyes of a 30-year-old with a filter that's made out of all of your insecurities at that age. And yes, of course, we all have insecurities, but they do fade as you get older. But that awareness, perspective, and that view on life is nothing like the awareness that comes from being older and having confidence in who you are. At 30 years old, I think you're still trying to figure out if you're just doing it right and if you're okay. You're also questioning if other people can see your insecurities and if other people think you're okay. With age comes wisdom and self-confidence, knowing that you know who you are and what other people think doesn't really matter. But that doesn't mean, listen up, that doesn't mean giving up on yourself and falling back on the excuse of not caring what other people think of you to then just let yourself go and give up. Because at least in my opinion, giving up is not an option. I mean, look, you cannot care what other people think of you as much as you want. But as soon as you start using that as an excuse over and over, you've just gone way too far in my opinion. So look at it this way. I don't care what people think of me. And if I did, this whole YouTube channel would have ended a long time ago. But that doesn't stop me from trying to be better than I was yesterday, last month, or last year. I look after myself, I try to eat well, I go to the gym, and I care about my appearance for me. But if other people like it, that's just a bonus. All right, here's another one for my younger self. Not everyone is going to like you or like what you do. No matter how hard you try, there's always going to be somebody who doesn't like you. And a lot of the times, they make sure that you know it. I mean, look, you could go on television with some crazy brand new discovery that will help thousands of people, and I guarantee you, somebody is going to have a problem with it and you will be criticized for it. And if the criticism about your discovery wasn't enough, they'll start to criticize you personally. They will criticize your hair. They'll criticize your body type. They will criticize the way you talk. The list goes on and on. Always remember this. The more you shine, the more shadows you cast. And people who are winning don't have a problem with somebody else winning. And one more. Criticism always comes from beneath you. I mean, just imagine the type of life that somebody must be living to go online just to leave hateful comments for no other reason than to just spread negativity and try to upset someone. I feel bad for these people, I really do, because if their life is so horrible that they need to try to bring everybody else down to their level, that must really suck for them. So my advice to my younger self would be to develop a very thick skin as fast as possible. I'm telling you, man, when I was younger, I always thought I had a pretty thick skin because I've been through a lot of ups and downs in my life. From my brother committing suicide when I was a teenager, to losing my dad too soon, my 9-year racing career with all those ups and downs, my divorce, and being broke and almost homeless just a few short years ago. But it wasn't until I started making videos on YouTube that my skin thickness was truly tested. Once you establish and develop an audience, and the more eyeballs start critiquing your work, the more all that negativity starts coming at you from every direction. I remember years ago when one of my first videos sort of went viral on YouTube and it was getting a ton of views in a very short amount of time. I remember waking up one morning, reading the comments on my phone, laying there in bed with my girlfriend at the time, almost being in tears because I could not believe how and why people could be so evil with their comments. I seriously could not understand it, and it would have made a lot of other people just quit YouTube altogether. But at that point, it was either sink or swim, and I swam. Another thing that I would tell my younger self is to move through life with your head up. Keep your eyes up and be aware of your surroundings. Not only though your physical surroundings, but your emotional surroundings. When you hang out with certain people, do they always make you feel like shit? Are they the people holding you back? Listen, you've heard this before, but you are the average of like the 5 people you hang out with most often. And if you want to do more with your life, you have to start hanging out with people who also want more. Next is women. Now, this could be a whole entire video, but let me just touch on a few things. Younger women today are a heck of a lot different than they were even just 10 years ago. Social media has taught this younger generation unrealistic expectations and to play games. It has also taught them that there's always somebody standing there waiting to go next. So if one thing, small thing, goes wrong in this current relationship, they can easily exit and find somebody else tomorrow. It's crazy. There is so much game playing and unnecessary testing going on, and also younger women don't make it very clear that they're even interested in you. Thank God I'm older because for the most part, older women 40s and up are done playing games, and they make it very clear that they're interested. They've been through enough to know what they're looking for and what they're not looking for. And the same thing goes with you. So chances are, young man, if you're 30 and still single, you've probably already had your fair share of relationship drama, and it might not be over just yet. But I'm telling you, it gets better. Don't get bitter and don't give up. There's way too many men right now that are blaming women for every single thing that's wrong with today's society. And these guys will shout from the rooftops that they're going their own way as single men for life and they don't need women ever. And for the record, that's fantastic. I got no problem with that at all. I think what I do have an issue with though is why do these guys have to shout it every single chance they get? Because if you've made a life decision to go live your life a certain way, then just go do it and be happy about it. I guess I don't understand the constant need to just blast off at the internet that you're going your own way and you don't need women. If somebody asks you, great, give your feedback. But this overwhelming, unsolicited shouting only shows me that you got hurt and you're still mad about it. And I can already hear the comments coming in now. All right, gentlemen, I think I just might go ahead and just wrap it up here. And I just sort of felt like I needed to get a few things off my chest as a message to my younger self. So thank you very much for bearing with me the last couple of minutes. And if you have anything to add, please, I welcome all of your comments and I read almost every single one. Now, if you're new, please consider subscribing. And with that, my friends, as always, thank you so much for watching. Live well, and I'll see you in the next one.